Hi everybody, my name is Maoloud. First things I'm stressed a little bit, so a bit lagging from here and here. Um, Anybody had an experience to present in his third language, for example? Yeah, okay, you're in the same show. So, and also like in front of like an expert like this, I'm still like uh, learning in the curve, so kind of I'm excused if I'm doing any mistakes. So from the okay, so my name is Maoloud DABAB. I'm gonna talk about my experience with Power BI using Power BI to build the dashboard. So okay, so kind of a very quick about like agenda for today. I'm gonna talk about okay, the first thing didn't work. Nice. So I'm gonna give it like a 15 minutes presentation, how we make Power BI and how we start with Power BI, and then I'm gonna like 20 minutes like dashboard case show. Like I'm gonna show you what's my dashboard, how I created, and also the challenge that I faced during my building. So it's like kind of a real experience with the Power BI. And then I'm gonna host like 10 minutes Q&A if you have any question or feedback or even like comment how I can improve my dashboard. Okay, so the first thing who I am, I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm a PhD candidate in engineering and technology management. I have been here for 5 years in Portland. I love Portland, so I defined it as my second home. I'm originally from Libya. I came 2014 to pursue my graduate study. I started with English classes, try to improve my English. Up to now, I'm still working on my English. Then I get my master's degree in 2017. Then I start doing my PhD, and hopefully by winter, next winter, I'm gonna graduate. So kind of like I'm trying, even like I'm full-time student, I'm trying to balance between life and work. I work with two positions where I work with the city of Portland, Water Bureau as an asset management analyst. And also I work with the campus sustainability office at Portland State University, also as a data analyst. So kind of switching my career from heavy technical electrical engineer to more data science and data management. So and also I'm trying to balance between my life. I enjoy like hiking, biking, camping, and this is the extreme sport that I like. I don't know like if people they know like it's called kite surfing. So I grew up in the front of Mediterranean Sea, so we have a beautiful beach over there. So I love like sea sports, so that's why. And sometimes I try to do some fun things. Okay, so Portland State. So a couple of like statistics how Portland State. I'm not an expert to talk about Portland State, but kind of since I'm working there and studying there, so I'm gonna give. So Portland State has a uniquely a campus. So there are around like 27,000 students, 6,000 like employees, like staff and faculty. Why I'm saying is they have like a unique campus because in downtown, so it's kind of people a lot of like for example this week we have an orientation for new students and most of the students they said like are we in downtown or are we on campus they don't feel like they're really on campus, so it's kind of open public for people. So we it's like a big campus. We have around like 554 like buildings, so that's Portland State they have on, and also they lease like some buildings. So I work with this campus sustainability office. We try like to give a lead certification for some building. We have around 14 buildings that lead certified across the campus. So let's a little bit talk about like campus sustainability. Or like also like I'm gonna like focus just on overall what the campus sustainability they doing. They try to support and grow the sustainability culture and knowledge around the campus. They support many activities, many programs like climate change action plan. They do like certified buildings. They do like check and charity, and they have a bunch of like activities and programs like during on campus. And also the aims to align like operation and policy and planning during different departments on campus. So back in like last November when they hired me, so I was like the first data analyst with the campus sustainability office. So the folk over there, they have a bunch of data, but they don't know what they're gonna do with data. So the idea, they have a couple of ideas. They try to build a dashboard, some like charts, whatever, but they don't have clear idea what they want to do exactly. So they hire me and they said like, okay, we have this bunch of data. It's not clean. It's like we need to build a story to tell like a public people what's going on with the campus in terms of like buildings, utilities, and stuff and done. So
Easy job, right?
like yeah, with no guidelines.
No guidance.
Yeah. Okay. So like okay, and also they give me the responsibility to choose the tools to do like my work. And if we're gonna have like a choose, like if you want to choose between these like tools, it's easy. Everybody they're gonna pick that one. Easy, yeah. So that's why. But what about if you have a bunch of like this, and you say like, what? Which one? Which tools exactly you want to do? Like you have to figure out what exactly your problem to solve it, and like pick the right tool. So that's the ideas of like comes in my mind at the beginning. And specific with the statistic in like you're talking about like data visualization, the business intelligence, like some statistic from internet, like the total cost of like for like it might be like very significant in terms of like cost. So every like $1 that you invest in business intelligence like softwares, like it takes like $2 to $55 like dollars labor in 3 years. So what I want to say here, it's very significant. Like it's very important to you as a manager or like a data analyst to pick the right tool. You do like some investigation, you do spend your time to pick the right tool, because if you pick not the right tool, it's gonna cost you more in the future. So that's the idea. So when I start, actually I did a small mistake. So when I start working, so I went with what I like. So since I'm a Ph.D. student, I'm using R for my research. So, and there's a package called R Shiny. So I go with R Shiny, start like, not right, like the next week, maybe like start with coding, building my dashboard, show it to my my supervisor, and she loved it. She said, wow, it's amazing. I don't think that's what, we are not like expecting like this. We're expecting like this and you like this. Go forward with this. I say like, but she told me like, wait a minute, how you build this one? I show her like the code, and she said, are you gonna stay forever with her? Like the people there, they're not technical. They don't know like any code. Even like R, they didn't have like a heavy code, but still like there's coding. She said, I don't think Maoloud we're gonna figure out how you build this one or how we maintain this one. No, I don't like this idea. So then I went back and said, okay, let's a minute and figure out what's the right tool. So I did a small search. I found like there's three ways for visualizing data. Like either like coding in terms of like you're talking about like Shiny, R, Python, whatever, like there is different one. Or you do like a drag and drop, which is easy, like Power BI, Tableau, Google Studio, like those kind of like tools that in the market right now to do. Or like traditional things like you do like an Excel spreadsheet and some graphs. So I try to narrow down and like, so, and this is for data visualization. Okay, so I pick like, I say like, I think it's like Tableau, Power BI, and R Shiny. Like, I had a small experience with Tableau when I did one of my courses with, I used Tableau. And also I'm doing my research with R Shiny, but when I did the research, I found like Power BI also, like it seems like a core software and has kind of future opportunity. And I see like, I will consider Power BI. So what I did, okay. Okay, what I did, like I said, like, okay, let's pick what's my criteria, how I can pick this like this one. I defined like a different like criteria. One of them is a community, how big like people they know like this one. I don't want to go back to my manager and say, okay, I picked this one and the software nobody they know how to use it, then they will, who gonna like replace my position? I'm not like gonna stay forever with them because it's kind of a student position. It's like a full-time position. So I define this as one of the criteria. Also, like how I can customize like my dashboard. Like, is it like has the capability to customize like the dashboard? Also, maintaining is very important. Like how easy like people, the non-technical people, they can maintain this one for future. Also, like how I can creating like how it's easy to create like graphs, like charts, whatever you want. Interactive. So when they hire me, they said like we need like some dashboard with dedicated like chart. But for me, I feel like it's not like can be interesting. So it should be like more interactive. Like people they can interact like with this dashboard. Also like data manipulability and also analysis. Since I love R, also like kind of doing data modeling, like efficiency for building. So I need to think about like how I can implement this modeling and analysis inside my tools. I don't want to go back and forth between like two softwares. Also cost. So I always like most like people. My manager fired me when she saw like this picture, like the cost of like of bad like. She said like I'm a bad like manager. I said no, you're a good manager. Anyway, so. Also, like cost is very significant, especially also like in Portland State, they are public, they don't have a lot of money. Don't ask about anything, don't ask about money. So its cost is like really significant over there, and also like support, like product support. So it's like product support is also like it's like if you stuck with something, if you have like the software, they have a good like support system. Like it's nice to get like overcome those challenges.
Communities like this.
Yeah, community is number one. So okay, so I did like a quick like survey. Since I'm a PhD student, I love like research and I love like things. So my manager she said, what you gonna do? Like, are you like doing research or like picking a software? I said like, no, we need to spend time to write like to pick the right thing. So I sent like a survey to people and they determined which the most important criteria, and they found like number one, it's like maintaining for my teams at Portland at Campus Sustainability. It could be like a difference. So what I'm saying here, anyone should be implementing the same thing. It could be like different criteria, different like weights, but this is, I believe this is the right way how to go forward with any like data visualization thing or like any business intelligence softwares. So after we did like this, I did also like a case show. I tried to implement different things with like our Shiny, like Power BI, and show them like how each software looks like. So we did like I did like a full presentation for them, and finally we picked Power BI. So we picked Power BI. Even like I don't know like anybody about BI. I said like, wait a minute, I don't know anything about Power BI. How I can do this? So I kept like searching on the internet, and I found like the workshop, the one day last year. Yeah. So I said like, hey, I'm signing up for this one, and I'm gonna go. Like, let's do it. So I signed up for this one. I learned a lot, and I remember that day I bring also my data, and it was like meeting Brian. By the way, Brian, he was working also at Portland State, so and also like other like people, they helped me how to come at the beginning to learn, like getting a learn, because kind of working part-time, I have other jobs, I'm not spending all my time in this dashboard, but I try to finish it before I'm gonna graduate. So that was my target. Okay, so now we're gonna go with how the dashboard looks like. Okay, so as you know, guys, there is like a desktop version, there's a service version. I'm not like an expert to talk about this. Maybe Brian here will talk, but I start with, since desktop is free, I told my manager it's free. She said, "Wow, it's nice. You're good. Like, you're the best one. Go forward." Okay, so I make like desktop and I start like building my dashboard. So I'm gonna show you like I already finished the dashboard, the first version. I already embedded in the website. So right now it's live. So I'm gonna show you how it looks like in the real life. So this is like the BCU website. And if you go Canvas here, this under sustainability Canvas, and you find like the dashboard here. Yeah.
So that was just a publish to the web, yeah?
Yeah, it's a publish like through the server, and it's still free. So. Okay, so this is the dashboard how it looks like. So I do like layers in my dashboard. So basically, I give an introduction about like overall campus, how many like buildings. So this is like the map shows like the buildings of like campus, and also the pie chart shows like how many academic buildings, how many parking, how many like like administrative building, housing building. And the cool thing, it's interactive. So when you click here, they're gonna highlight it like here in the indentation. And the second one, they give you like in terms of like feet square, how many feet square. For example, if you click here, you find like we have 4 structural parking building. It's like around 6.9% of the total size of campus. But if you go here, it's like 14% in terms of like feet square. Also, like you can click here, they're gonna give you a percentage like here. So it's nice to give overall like ideas. Okay, so then you go to the next level, which is giving on overall ideas about like campus, how they're doing with utilities. So I bake like 3 solid data, which is gas, electricity, and gas and water. So, but I'm looking forward to add like more data, like garbage, like transportation, and so on, like all in one dashboard. I bake like 3 fiscal years, like from 2015, like 2018, and right now we are updating and adding like the new fiscal year. So it's gonna be an annual update. Okay, we have like electricity and this cool thing. So I did like this slot, like, and you can pick like, for example, 1 year, and they're gonna give you like a statistic about each year. And also like, for example, if you want to compare like the summer term for the 3 years, they're gonna give you the summary, and also like they give you here in terms of like the total, how many gas and how many electricity. You can pick one month, and so on. So this is kind of that's the interactive, like how I like, and students, they can interact with this and see what exactly they want to see, and they can build their own story, like comparing like summer 2015 and to summer 2016, and so on. Within that, like then I said like, okay, this is not clear enough, because just an overall, I did another level, shows like, for example, electricity with feet square campus, how they're growing. So even with this picture, it gives you a good indicator to top management. They say like, for example, we have a grow in a campus, we're adding a new building, but the electricity is kind of going down. So we are more efficient with electricity. Also, like you can see with population, so I do like a total number of like count head, like student enrollment and faculty and staff. That's an overall, and give you a statistic. I did like the same thing with gas and also with water here. It's the same thing. Like, and also one of what the things that you will notice there, I tried to type it with the person, like for each person, how many like gallon they use every year. So for example, as you can see, like people, they use less water on campus. It could be like people, they're using less. It could be like they're building a new pumping like a system that is more efficient. But I'm still like kind of building my story, like and going down. And also like you can pick like specific month or specific like term, and you can see like each per person how much they use it. Then I said that this is not enough. Let's do another level and compare like each building specific with each, like, so for example, you're gonna see like the whole building. So if you focus on housing building, you're gonna see each building, how much electricity they use, and you have the acronym here. You can, for example, pick this one, they're gonna highlight it. So this is kind of the things that, so I did the same with the gas, the same things. You can even like, they don't have anything because it's parking, so they don't use gas. There is no heat there. Okay, also like administrative, and so on. So that's like the thing, like this is the second level. But like some people, they keep asking me, okay, so now you're comparing like this building and this building, but they are both administrative. What about if I need to pick two different buildings, I need to compare them. Like they might be one of them like administrative and one academic. So what I'm gonna do? So that's why I break it another level and give it shot. Like you can filter specific Lincoln Hall, for example, with criminal hall, and you're gonna pick, and you can pick more than like this, and you can pick the buildings that you want to see, and you compare like each one. And you can filter a fiscal years also if you want here. And then I want to make it like very interesting. I don't want to give everything, so I put like one is coming soon. Because like this is how it works. Like don't give everything to your manager in one day. Like you should like have some like in your bucket, wherever. Like so like what you did like for last week. Okay, I gave this one. So you have to be smart. So okay, so I did like so part of like I'm trying to integrate my PhD study and my work with, because my focus about like efficiency of the surface system and so on. So I'm building a model here. When I did the research, I found like in the industry right now, I did like also I went to a conference like last March. So people they're talking about EUI, which is like energy unit like in density. That's how they define like efficiency. But I keep like kind of argue with them. If you have a bunch of like building, like for example, they are all of them they're residential, you can compare UI. It makes sense because they are the same functional. But like if you are comparing a campus, they have different buildings. Like one building it's administrative, they shut down at 5 or 6. Other building it's 24 hours. Like the engineering buildings, you go like they're crazy. Like they're working. Like if you go to lab, like after midnight, you can find like students are still working there. So you cannot like compare just fit square. So you have to include multiple factors. That's why my philosophy, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm building a model called I give like a more robust efficiency on terms of buildings. And that's what I'm gonna do it like here. But it's almost done there. But so that's kind of like my dashboard, like how I build it, my experience. A couple of things. So I think we are doing great with time. So one thing, like a couple of things that I faced a lot of challenge to reach this level. So I was like, sometimes I spend like hours and hours to figure out like a couple of things. So what I want to highlight it here, like a couple of things that I lesson learned from this thing, or like kind of a trick that I learned from this. The first thing, so let's go back. And some of them, even like Brian and other folks, they helped me with. I was like bothering Brian, you know, like this one. Okay, so one of the things that I learned, or maybe it's a question for you guys, then we try to test like your knowledge. Maybe some of people, it's an easy thing, it should be. Okay, so this version, so I have a bunch of versions, like maybe 50 versions every time we see a new version. So right now, like I built my dashboard, it's perfect, everything is awesome. As you can see, like for example, here. So one of the things that, this is one of the tricks that I learned. So as you can see, like here, so here, you don't find like multiple pages. You just click here and that's it. How I did this one, so PowerBIUG, they have like a features. You can go in your here and you can hide your pages here. And you can do like, you go like in your like the icon that you want to, when you click, you do like a bookmark. And that's how it works. So you go here and you do action, you on, and you do like bookmark, and you decide which page you want. So, and that's it. And people, they don't like find like multiple like tabs down or pages. So whenever you click here, it's kind of hyperlink, it works. So that's one thing, it helps me a lot to simplify my dashboard. The other thing, which is this one, I spend a lot of time to understand. So right now we have a fiscal years. So it's basically start from July until June, which is, I keep asking my manager, let's do it a year. She said, no, like a fiscal year. Because I had an issue, that's why I'm like, trying to push her to change it. So she said, no, I need like fiscal years. I said, okay. At the beginning, I didn't want to tell like what's going on. So she said like a fiscal years. I said, okay. So I built this one. What I realized, once I published this one, when you publish it here, it goes to the server, and you're gonna have your since I do like a free version, you just have your my place. So but if you have the other one, you can have like shared one when people they can share report. So I do like my place. So when you go here and you click here, okay, now not this version, okay, go report and go version 15. I clean a lot. Like this is I have more versions, but I just don't want to be shy, like having like 50 like or 50 like or personally clean some of them. Okay, so now as you can see, like it's still July, August, September, whatever. But when you click like another page, you go back. Okay, what's going on? Maybe this version has like the correct one. Okay. Let's go version 12. Okay, version 12, I have this issue. It's alphabetic. I said like, well, I really like said like, I need this from July to June. And then they made it like alphabetic. Any thoughts about this? How I can fix this one? Keep like spend days and days to figure out. So basically, there's a feature in Power BI. Go to back to desktop, your desktop, and you can like force it to sort your data specific with the new column. So what I did, I went back. It's kind of a trick. So I did like another column called like quarter number. I did it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 1, it's like I defined like for example, July is number 1, and that's how I defined like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of a new calendar for me. I defined it a new calendar, which is in Power BI they call the new calendar. So I did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the sequence that I want, and then I went back here to the version and I click. Like for example here, what I want the data, like month, and you go to modeling. So you can find like sorting by column. This is the tricky. By default, it goes with the one, but I can like switch it to the number that I want, like quarter number, for example. So then, by using this one, that's how I solved my issue.
Did you do it in your data table or in the date table? Did you do it in the fact table or in the date table? It looks like you did it in the monthly file table. If you do it in the date table, it'll basically, if you add the column on which to sort your months by, it'll apply across all your other tables if you can link it to that table.
What do you mean? Like it's another solution, or you just
Data model?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can we see your data model?
This is data model.
In the data modeling view on the left-hand side, on the left-hand pane, there's like a visualization. You go down. Yeah, that one.
Might be ugly. Where is it?
What version is this? Yeah, minimize that. See. There we go.
Right, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Bottom right corner.
So if you do the same process in your date table, and if you have your fact tables connected to that date table, it'll apply all across your fact tables that contain any.
But you need like to add like a new table code.
No, in the date, you have a date table right there. So if you do the same thing, just do the sort by your months, by that month number in there, in that table, then the relationships will take care of all the other tables.
Yes, but like what's happened, I don't have at the beginning, I don't have the date table. I don't add it like, it's basically the date is inside like one table that I have. It's the same thing. I get your point. And basically, but like, you have to go back to the date table and force it to sort it by the trick things. Like that's what I said. Like you have to add a new column called like July, it's number 1, and August number 2. You have to do like this step, and then you add like whatever you want.
Relationships. Yeah.
The relationships to over like come. Yes. but this is like kind of the things that you learn. And what it helps me with this one, when I go back like to my criteria is community and also like the support system. So I was like writing, they have like in PowerBIUG, like a website, they have like I don't know what they call it, like community something, or so basically you can write your question and other people, they can respond to you, and they get response. Someone, they said like, hey, you can have to do this and this and this and do it. So that's one of the things that I learned from my experience, and I solve it. The other thing, which is maybe like Greg, he will not be happy with this because this is a feature in a prime and they don't want to get like a prime, so I solve it with a trick one. So so basically, like like another thing, so this dashboard, one of the objectives of this dashboard to make it like the data is accessible for students and faculty in campus. They can do projects, class projects, and so on. So we don't need like everybody, they wants data, they reach us, and so I want the data is accessible and they can download it. So when I start with the desktop, so basically in the desktop they have a features like here, like if you click on any chart, like let's go for this one, and you click here, you can have export data, and when you just click, they're gonna give it to you as a CSV file. So the data behind like this graph, it's accessible, and that's what I thought is gonna be also in my dashboard in the like when I publish it. So this is not a feature; it's free. so I have to think about other ways. So any thoughts about guys about this issue? How I can solve it? Yeah, I feel like nobody like answer either two ways. People, they don't understand what I'm talking about, or I'm an expert and like so either way. So
Thank you. I mean, you could do a drill through, and then you can have whatever that drill through dashboard is, and then that would show you the underlying data source.
Can you again explain it to me, or could you show like?
Do you mind passing this over?
So what I've done is I've created a report view of the stuff so I can see all the data, and you can add the plus signs to that data view so they can actually drill down on the data. I mean, that's one way you could do it.
So you mean like it's just like if you go here in a website,
mm-hmm. So like down below you have that report electricity statistics.
Okay.
Right? So in that, if you go to, I believe it's the rows, there's a plus minus sign you can enable, and they can drill down on the details if you add those details into the model.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like similar thing what I did. I add like a small item here, and I did an action. So what I did, so I add like, I went here for the dashboard itself. So I add a new like logo, like JPEG, like pictures, and they did an action, and they said web URL, and they put like my dashboard, like my data in Google Drive, and that's it. So basically people, they can click here and they can have like the data. So this is another thing kind of around like Power BI and try to solve it, like because like they need like to get money, and BC they don't have money. So anyway, so this is another things that I learned from here. I try to put like okay, so another I remember she helped me with this one. Yeah. So basically at the beginning, so I need to connect how I can draw like a map and connect it with like other like tables. You can do it like with GIS, whatever, but I cannot customize my GIS. I need to build another layer. It's very complicated. And also like it's hard to narrow down specific on campus and clean up all the buildings, wherever. So it's like, it took me like forever to until I give up with like a GIS. Like then I was like, she told me there is another trick, like try this one. She gave me a hint. So there's another tool. So basically it's like this website. Basically what you did, you upload your picture JPEG, it's a normal JPEG, and you build another layer. So with another layer, then you have a SVG like file, and you can upload it in the Power BI, and then you can link whatever building names with this one. So basically what I did, I come here, I uploaded a normal JPEG with the campus buildings, like map, there is nothing inside here, and they keep like saying building this one. This, like for example, said criminal hall. And they came here. I built another one. I said like this is like another building called like, for example, Lincoln Hall. And I keep adding all the buildings. And then you just export it to Power BI and save it. And you can just click save as. It's gonna be CVG like file, and that's it. So then you go back to your dashboard and here, and you upload it. It's basically, this is what the dashboard like called. So I uploaded here, and I add all the buildings that I know. And sometimes if I need to add the new buildings or remove, or we change like the name, I go back to the tools, I change whatever I want, and I upload it again, and it works fine, and I solve my issue. So it's easy bet. So if you ask. Okay. Data downloading. I think I cover like the 4 topics, like date sequence, like the download data, and bookmark. Also, about multiple pages and the designer. Within that, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, like it was clear. Questions? Yeah.
Thank you. How did you acquire the historical data from the electric, gas, and water company? Did you have to build that in Excel, or could you connect to the utility companies?
Okay, Mark. We were talking last week about that. So basically, Portland State, they have a meter, they collect data, but there is no way how to connect it with the dashboard to get like a live stream. So we have another database that we collect data, and sometimes we go to the meter and read it like there. There's a lot of crap like data over there. So basically we clean it. That's why we decide to do it like an annual update, because it needs time to get the data, clean it up in Excel spreadsheet, and upload it in this one. So unfortunately,
Thank you.
Yeah.
That actually is a use case being explored by a local utility company.
Yeah.
We're using stuff like to look at doing exactly that, work with like PSU and give them that data on ongoing basis.
Any other questions, feedback, comments? No? Thanks. Okay.